Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is late March 2024. We're in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I love this area. And we're going through a little strip mall here. By the way, this must be the most conservative strip mall in America. There's a Bible museum, a Trump store, Cooter's place, and micro wrestling, all in one strip mall. And that's just an observation there. I thought that was kind of interesting. Cooter's place, I'll let you look around. Cooter's place used to be in Gatlinburg, right, I think there's a Ripley's mini golf there where it used to be. It's right across from the Red Cup place, right across from where Hard Rock Cafe used to be before it moved into Pigeon Forge 2. So this is, it's not quite what it used to be. They had a race car track in here, store, museum, so it's very different now. It's honestly, it's a little bit harder to get to. You have to look for it because it's not even right on the strip. But it's actually fairly easy to find. But you have to look for it a little bit. You know, you're not going to drive down the strip and just see it. But I'm glad it's still there. And I've been to all three of the Cooter's Place locations. I've put up videos on all of them. I don't think I've put up a video on the Luray, Virginia location. And because I think I visited that one before I started filming pretty much everything I do. But I did put up a video on the Gatlinburg location, which, moved here. So if you want to see what it looked like before, I do have a video up about the old Gatlinburg location. And I've also put up a video on the Nashville location. I like the Nashville location a whole lot. It's not too far from the Opry Mills Mall. And, of course, a couple of other kind of music-related museums near there, too. But they've done a good job here in Pigeon Forge. They were very friendly, and I want to say at the Gatlinburg location they used to charge for photo ops with their General Lee, and they're not doing that now. They were encouraging anybody to go sit in the General Lee and make themselves comfortable, which was pretty neat. One thing I liked about this location, they do have some kind of photo op recreated TV sets. So, you could take your picture in the jail or at the boar's nest. And I thought that was pretty neat. Of course, just about anything Dukes related you might want, they've got it here. I know in the past, I want to say the location in Nashville and at the old Gatlinburg location, I think they would usually have signed photos of some of the cast members, but I did not see that on this visit today. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but you could usually find signed photos reasonably priced of some of the cast members. And there was a little family getting pictures of the General Lee there. Oh yeah, and here's kind of a what a kid's bedroom might look like back in the 80s, if they were a big Dukes of Hazzard fan, which I was. I was a little kid at the time, but man, did I have everything Dukes of Hazzard. I know I had those sheets on my bed. And then, of course, I had the action figures, and I had the cars. I could never find Cooter. That was the one action figure that was always hard to find. But I had all the other ones. And I've still got them around here somewhere, I think. And they've got a little diorama set up with some of the action figures in a little case. Man, when you were a kid, though, the action figures were so cool. They were the same scale as Star Wars and G.I. Joe. So, you could have Bo and Luke going on missions with your G.I. Joe guys. And there's that kind of set up of the boar's nest, which is pretty neat. Of course, the pool table there, they had the arcade game, or the pinball machine. And, yeah, just kind of neat to see that. And there's Dixie, Daisy's Jeep. I think I got some of the other filming photo op places. Of course, baseball caps are pretty common here. Like I said, the staff here is super friendly. I mean, they kind of told you to come in and make yourself at home. It was that kind of a place. And it's obviously this is a business. It's always nice to buy something from them, but you don't have to. And they didn't seem to mind if people didn't. They were very, very kind. And with all of these recreated set areas, I was thinking about how cool it would be to get my friends together and to dress up as the Dukes and come in here and try to do some photos. Of course, I would be Bo or Luke. But the more I thought about that, my Boss Hog would probably be. I could pass. I could probably win a look-alike contest for Boss Hog. So I need to get a white suit like he had and a white cowboy hat, and go from there. I definitely could not win a Bo and Luke look-alike contest now. They had photos of a lot of the old cast members. I did see James Best, one of my all-time favorites. He's from my neck of the woods. I did see him one night. I was at an Everly Brothers homecoming festival in Central City, and he came out on stage for a little bit and talked, and the crowd went nuts. Just a legend, and I love it when I'm watching an old Twilight Zone or something and he pops up. Another one of those actors that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he'll forever be known for Roscoe P. Coltrane. Yeah, there's a little shot of the cartoon the Dukes of Hazzard cartoon series. I don't know if you remember that or not. It was 2 seasons, and when they started it, it featured Coy and Vance, who had replaced Bo and Luke on the regular TV series. And then for the second season, they brought Bo and Luke in. And from a continuity standpoint, it was very strange because they were racing around the world. And all of a sudden, there's no Coy and Vance, and Bo and Luke are back. And there's the little sheriff's office. There's the jail. Very, very nice there. And of course, there's Flash also. And speaking of Coy and Vance, they lasted a couple seasons. No, they lasted 1 season. Part of 1 season, really, on the Dukes of Hazzard. And the actors that played Bo and Luke had a contract dispute. They were out. Basically, a couple of clones were in. And those 2 actors, I thought, did a very good job for what they had to work with and for the kind of quick replacement they had to adapt to. And then they kind of were written off the show and never heard from again. And it was Byron Cherry and Christopher Mayer who played Coy and Vance. Christopher passed away in 2011. I think they have a little piece from his funeral on this display over here. Byron Cherry still makes appearances. I think quite a bit with John Schneider these days. For some reason, they've started making appearances together, which is interesting. There's some more merchandise. Again, when I was a kid, man, you didn't get any cooler than the Dukes of Hazzard. And I remember being in grade school, and me and my friends, if we were hanging out, you had to go out if you were in a car, you had to leave through the window. You couldn't open the door and just go out. You had to do it like the Dukes. And of course, we did not look nearly as cool as the Dukes. We fell down, we tripped, cut ourselves up. We never looked nearly as cool as the Dukes getting out of our cars. But you still had to. Anyway, just a quick look around the museum. Have you been there? What do you think about its relocation to Pigeon Forge? And just because I was there, we drove down the mall a little bit, and you'll see the micro wrestling place. That's where they have micro wrestling, which we used to call midget wrestling, but that's not politically correct these days. And now they call it, it's micro wrestling. I did see these guys when they came through Lexington not too long ago. They put on a heck of a show. And if I would have been there with some of my buddies and not my wife, we probably would have went and seen some micro wrestling. I filmed some of it too. I'm not sure if I should put that up or not, but it was fun.